some street food, see if you die. If you didn't, you've probably got a pretty strong immune system. Hello everyone, this is Danny, and first off, I'm sorry about my appearance, but we're currently on break at my school, and I stopped caring. I've been a disgusting human being for the past couple days, but kind of need it right now. 2 videos ago, I made, a video, obviously, about things I miss from America. And it was a pretty short list. I've gotten kind of used to being here in China, and honestly, there are some things I prefer. So in this video, I want to talk about things that I love about being in China. First thing I really like is the ease of public transportation. Now, I know in larger cities in America, there is public transportation, but typically it's kind of expensive and kind of sucks. From what I've heard, I've never heard someone saying, oh, that public transportation was so good. Like, the public transportation here isn't necessarily clean in China, however, it's pretty great. Only larger cities in China really have a metro. Our public transportation is bus, bikes, and taxis. And also DD, but that kind of goes in taxis. The buses are pretty much everywhere. They're super cheap. They're like 1.5 kwai. If you have the bus card, they're 1.3. So it's essentially a great system, and it goes all over the city. So Lishui thankfully has a public bike system, and I can go to any other county in the Lishui district area and still be able to use my bike card, which is awesome. Well, essentially it's, if I'm correct, it's free for the first 2 hours, but I never have a bike out that long. I just find another bike rack and just put it in. Like, I don't keep the bike. After that, it starts charging you. Honestly, not a problem. Also, taxis are super cheap. They're like 8 kwais to start with in my city. Shanghai, I think they're 14 starter. They're either 12 or 14 starter. I think 14 though. But I mean, that's still not that expensive. I mean, it can get very expensive in Shanghai. Don't get me wrong. In Shanghai, you should just use the metro. Just use the metro. Unless like you're not going that far. But like if you're going pretty far, just, oh God, you're gonna be spending out the wazoo on a taxi. But yeah, I really like public transportation, especially considering I don't even have a license. Like, I can't even drive in America. I don't have a car, nothing. So like the ease of freedom without like being tied down to like having a car and car payment and all that is really good. Second thing I like about China is how good the food is. Honestly, Chinese food is very delicious. You have to be extremely picky not to like it. Like, and I mean like really picky. They eat a lot of vegetables. They cook all of them, by the way. Like, you'll rarely ever see anyone eat raw vegetables here. But it's really delicious, really cheap. I mean, I can get a bowl of noodles probably around 10 to 12 kwai. Probably 10. Sometimes even cheaper depending on what's in it. Because I don't eat pork and beef anymore, which I've kind of fallen off of, honestly, because people keep taking me out. But I'm gonna get back on that. Okay, let's get back on that. But yeah, no, the food is really good, really cheap, and everywhere. Like, honestly, you're gonna figure out whether or not your stomach is strong in China. Eat some street food, see if you die. If you didn't, you've probably got a pretty strong immune system. Third thing, quick delivery. So in America, in order to get 2-day shipping, usually you have to pay a crap ton, or you have to be part of like Amazon Prime and stuff like that, and it's like, it's considered great and fast. 2 days is the norm in China. Like, 2 days is what normally happens. And usually that 2-day shipping is even free. And if there is a shipping cost, I've never seen shipping cost over 10 kwai. Like, that's not even $2. 10 kwai is not even $2. Like, ridiculousness going back to America and waiting like a week or 2 weeks for an item. Like, what is up? China has made me very impatient with my packages. Fourth thing, movie theaters. They're really cheap here, and they show lots and lots of movies. There's an international one in our mall, although many of the small ones will also have some of the international movies that are bigger. Marvel movies are really popular here. So yeah, I can watch movies here. Like, they're not all Chinese. Like, they'll have the English movies, they won't dub them, they will sub them. Thank God. Dubbed movies suck, okay? Like, you can only really dub something well if it's an animation. Like, other than that, just sub it. It's really good. I really like them. However, concessions food is just as expensive. We had to buy a freaking water bottle for, what was it? Ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. 10 kwai. I remember that correctly. 10 kwai for a water bottle. You can buy water, like water bottles from a vending machine for 2. So movie theater food is still expensive, but you can literally bring in any food you want. Like, you don't have to hide it or anything. You just bring it in. They don't even care. Like, no one cares. Like, I bring in eating ice cream into the movie theater and they're just like, go. 5th thing that I like is WeChat. WeChat is a messaging app here that essentially most, from what I've been told by my students, old people have. But it's honestly like super good. Because not only can you message people, it's kind of like Facebook in that you have moments and stuff, and apparently you can look up like news searches. Like, it's a lot of things in one, but my favorite part about it is WeChat Pay. So I have my card connected to my WeChat, and essentially I can just ask them, 微信可以吗? And things like 可以 or 不可以. I think, is it 不可以? Or is it 没可以? I think it's 不可以. Yeah, 不可以. But usually they have it. They'll tell me if they can't, they'll tell me the other app. But yeah, WeChat is great. You can talk to people. You can send money to people like red packets, hongbao, to your friends, like if you owe them money. Honestly, I love the consolidation of it. Like, I can literally just go out with my phone and be able to buy stuff. Because even if they don't have WeChat like set up on their vendors, you can become friends with them on WeChat and then send it in a hongbao. Or you can actually send like just a straight up transfer. But it's awesome, I love it, and I kind of wish America had it. We have way too many options. Like, just give me one thing. And last one, number 6. Delivery. Delivery is great here. Usually they're through third-party companies. I think KFC itself has its own delivery like participant, like the person to do delivery from what I've seen. But usually you can get either Ulama or Meituan, and there's another one. Like, I made a video where I mentioned this stuff like beforehand in like the only get ready with me I've ever done. All delivery can be done through the app. You order your food and you go. I've had issues with ordering my food, mainly because apparently the address I have for my school is wrong. So that would explain a lot. So I've got to get the correct address to my school to fix everything. But delivery usually ends up taking like an hour or so, but I usually end up ordering it during busy dinner hours. So that's kind of my fault too. But it's cheap, it's great, I love it. You can get practically anything delivered. So, sorry if I wasn't like really happy or anything. I'm not feeling down, I'm just trying to relax because this weekend I'm going to Qingtian and we're going to be going around a lot. It's an all expense paid trip, so I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, you should do this or that, I don't want to go. It's not things like that. It's just I'm going to be dealing with a lot of people, so I have to like conserve my energy. So, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions for future videos or any type of stories or what you like about China if you live here or what you would like to see if you visited, leave it down below and I will see you next week. Bye-bye!